Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. Today we are gonna discuss about 5 image upscalers that you can use to upscale your AI generated images. Let me be clear, this is not a comparison video. You'll be pretty great with any of the 5 tools mentioned in this video. If you are already using any one of the 5 tools mentioned in the video, you can just use the timestamps to jump to them. I'll be using images that I personally have uploaded to stock photography sites and see how they work in the upscalers. Let's get started. The first tool that I am gonna show you guys is Topaz Gigapixel AI. You can buy it as an individual product for $100 or as a part of the Topaz photo bundle. Now there are lots and lots of people that I personally know swear by Topaz Gigapixel AI. They are very pleased with its performance, its intuitive design and ease of use. Some even claim its upscaling capabilities are one of the 2 best image upscalers on the market. I haven't purchased Topaz Gigapixel AI yet. Now for the purpose of this video I tried to download a trial version, but for some reason I don't know why the installer they sent me, it never started on my computer. Therefore I requested one of my friends, Nabil Tirmazi, who has Topaz Gigapixel AI, to get some images upscaled for me so I can show it to you people. He has been doing amazing works with AI, especially with stable diffusion. I'll put some links in the description so you can just go and say hi to him. Thank you Nabil very much for the help, much appreciated. Now let's show you the images. Here are the images that he has sent me. These are 4 times and 6 times upscales there. As you can see, they are almost identical and there is no loss of quality, no artifacts, even no noise in there. If I talk about the pros and cons of the Topaz Gigapixel, the pros would be it is very much user friendly. You can batch upscale a lot of images at once, and as we have seen, there are no artifacts, no noise or anything that might give away the images that they are not the original ones, they are upscaled ones. The main purpose of using upscale images so that you can use them instead of the original ones, right? There are only 2 cons of Gigapixel that I can think of, and both of them are, yeah, they might be a con or might not be. The first one is you can't get the output in 300 ppi or 240 ppi just out of the software. Well, you get the desired resolution and you can always change the PPI or DPI in another software like Photoshop or any other image editor that allows you to do it, but that's one extra step. Like in other cases you can get 300 ppi outputs directly, so this seems like a con to me. And for the next one, it's not free. Well, that might be a con for some people, that might not be, as it's only $100 and one time purchase. You get to keep it forever. But there is the catch. Many people has mentioned that Topaz releases updates every now and then, and you are kind of forced to buy every 1 or 2 years just to stay updated so that it doesn't become obsolete. Well, at present level Topaz Gigapixel is very good as itself, so if you don't buy it for next 3, 4, 5 years, it might not cause a problem at all for you. And if that's good enough for you, then you can go and buy this one. No, this video is not sponsored by Topaz Labs. Not in fact, this video is not sponsored by anyone. I'm just sharing my unaltered opinions about the tools. Now let's move on to the next one. Adobe Lightroom, or more precisely Adobe Lightroom Classic CC. Now this is another AI image generator that does an amazing job. The image upscaling method Lightroom uses is technically just the same that Photoshop uses in its Preserve Detail 2.0 version. So we are going with Lightroom instead of Photoshop because number one, you can batch edit images in Lightroom, whereas in Photoshop you have to do it just one by one. Therefore Lightroom is a much more practical choice in this case. And number 2, well, this is not exactly a point, but most people that have subscription for Photoshop have already subscription for Lightroom. Many people go for the Adobe photography plan, many people go for the Adobe Creative Suite. In both these plans, Lightroom and Photoshop both are included. So therefore we are going with Lightroom. Here let's click on the import button. We are going to our test folder. There the photos are already there, as you can see. Let's import them. Let's select all of them with Ctrl A, right click, enhance, and let's check super resolution, this option there, and enhance 8 images. As you can see, it's creating DNG files from the PNG files, and those are enhanced DNG files, upscaled ones, and once you export them, you can export them into JPEGs or PNGs. As it's done, let's sort the images. Here you can see the sort option via file extension. Why so? Because we want to get the set of DNGs at one place instead of the all getting mixed up with each other. Let's hover over here. It shows 1024 by 1024, then it's the original one. Let's hover over here. Well, these are the DNG ones. Select them, shift click, and export. Here I am exporting them to a specific folder. I have already created one inside the directory, inside test. Here is the folder named Lightroom. Select folder. Always remember to set the quality in the file settings to 100. The resolution I have set, let's set this to 300. We can set the resolution at the time of exporting in Lightroom. Now export. As you can see, it has already been exported and it's very fast here in this folder. And if you go to the properties, you can see these are 2688 by 2048 pixels and 300 dpi. That's it for Lightroom. Just like Topaz Gigapixel, it is also very user friendly, very intuitive, and very prompt. You just go there, select your you just go there, import your images, select the images, enhance them, export them, and unlike Gigapixel, you can also export them in whatever resolution you want, be it 300 ppi, be it 240 ppi, be it 600 ppi. You can choose anyone as you like and it would do it just fine. There is no need to go to another software and go image by image and change the resolution. Well, if I talk about the cons of Lightroom, there are also two. The first one is price. Well, Adobe goes by a subscription model, and this is the costliest of all the tools mentioned in this video. But you get a lot more with that, not just upscaling capabilities. Like in case of Gigapixel, you just get the upscaling capabilities, and all other tools that I am gonna mention, there you get only the ability to upscale your images. Yeah, some tools offer something more also, but if you just want to upscale your images and don't want to do anything else, then I doubt this price is justified for you. But if you already have Photoshop, like there are many graphic designers, like there are many people that already have Adobe Suite subscriptions, many people have the photography subscription or even Lightroom subscription as standalone for their works, their needs, then I think this is the best way to go. You don't have to pay any extra penny for that, and its upscaling capabilities are outstanding. And the second con is there is a limit to 4x resolution. I mean, you can't go beyond that in Lightroom even if you try to. You can't enhance an image twice. Even you export an image, import it again and try to enhance in Lightroom, it shows that it can't be enhanced twice. They have some data, they have some maybe algorithmic data, something, or even in metadata something. I don't know how they calculate it, but if you have upscaled one image already once and then try to enhance it or upscale it in Lightroom again, it won't let you do that. So therefore, if you have an image of 1024 by 1024 resolution, you are kind of stuck to the upper ceiling of 2048 by 2048. It won't go beyond that, and that is a limitation. But as I have seen in my usages, in most usage cases, you don't need more than that. And if you try to go beyond that resolution, sometimes the image upscalers might add artifacts to the images, might add noises to the images, even if you go for the Gigapixel. So therefore, that's a limitation. If you need more resolution than that, then Gigapixel might be the one for you to go. If you need more upscaling, then Gigapixel might be the way to go for you. But if you are content with 4x upscaling and don't need much, and you already have a subscription, then I think Lightroom is best for you. The next tool I am gonna explain to you, it is something that is completely free. Chainar. This is Chainar, whatever that is. Chainar is an open source model available in GitHub. Yeah, I'll attach the link in the description. Here you can download it from GitHub. Here you can get the upscaler models. There are lots and lots to choose from, and use any of the one you like and upscale your images from there completely for free. There is no cost associated, nothing to pay at all. This works like a charm. There are lots and lots of upscaling models are available in the database. Yeah, it puts a little bit extra pressure on your PC compared to Gigapixel or Lightroom. The upside is you get all the capabilities of them just at your fingertips. Let me show you. Chainar might seem a little bit complicated at first as it uses a node-based workflow. Well, those of you that are already familiar with node-based workflows like DaVinci Resolve or something like that, it won't be a problem for them. But for those that haven't used any node-based applications yet, it might seem a little bit complicated at first. I already have a video where I have explained how you can use Chainar to upscale your images, where to find the models, and how you can batch edit images. Now the pros of this tool is, as I have already mentioned, it's completely free. And about the cons, there are not really much of the cons of this model. I mean, it works very smooth, it gets the job done, and if you are not happy with your result, then you can just change the model. There are various models programmed specifically for like portraits, for anime characters, for landscape. You get the picture. Therefore, I can't really find any downsides of Chainar. Just maybe it's not as intuitive or as user friendly as Gigapixel or Lightroom. Moving on to the next one. Well, this is as cheap as it can get. You don't even need a PC for this one. This is a website called bigjpg.com. Yeah, that's the name. There you can just upload your images, it gets them upscaled online, and you can just download them. Let's see how it works. I'm gonna select a few images from there. Open. Well, this is a slight limitation, not exactly slight, a very big limitation. If you go to start, firstly you can, in the free version, you can only go up to 4x upscaling. You can go 8x and 16x, but you need a subscription plan for that. There is varying level of noise reduction, none, low, medium, high, highest. I generally prefer medium. You can choose the image type. If it is an artwork, you can choose artwork. If it is a photo, you can choose photo. Let's go with artwork for this one. Here let's try to click on this option, enlarge all images below, and see what happens. As you can see, it gives an error that the free version can only process 2 images simultaneously. That seems to be the limitation with this one. So therefore it's pretty time consuming if you go for free, but if you want to pay, let's see how the pricing works. Here the pricing plan, it is the cheapest of them all. Well, it's not as cheap as Chainar, as Chainar is completely free, but on the upside, you don't need a decent PC to run this one. You can even use this in your tab or even your mobile phone. You can just upload images from your mobile phone to this website and then download them for a price of as low as $22 for 12 months. $22 for an entire year. You get 2000 pictures per month, and there you get max file size of 50 MB. You get 16x upscale, and you can upscale as many images as you want parallelly. The limitation here seems that you can only get to upscale 2000 images per month. So therefore, if you are gonna upscale more images than that, then you might need to get subscription from more than one email IDs. But still, that's gonna be a lot cheaper than Gigapixel, Lightroom, or any other options in there. Therefore, if you don't have a decent PC or you don't want to spend as much as for Gigapixel or Lightroom, then you can easily go for this one. Well, if you are upscaling more than 10,000 images a month and you also have a decent PC, then the Gigapixel might be the one you should go for as the price balances out, unless this is the way to go. Well, talking about the cons of this one, it seems to be limited by a very large con, that is internet connectivity. If you don't have a fast internet connection, then uploading and downloading huge number of images might become a problem. And also, like, if your connectivity fluctuates and you have uploaded some images, upscale them, and when you go to download them, if the connection goes off, you get pretty much stuck there. That seems to be a very big con for me. But for people where online connectivity is no issues and this is the only way for them to get their images upscaled, this seems to be the best option to me. And if you don't want to pay a single penny, you can still make it work. Yeah, you have to wait for long queues, you have to keep uploading and downloading images one by one for a long time, but you can still get it pretty done. Now the final one, Photoshop neural filter. Well, Adobe has been working on their AI assisted tools for many years now, and now they have upped the game a notch by releasing their neural filters. Now moving on to the Photoshop. At first we have to create a canvas large enough for the upscale image to fit. Let's press C for crop. I am getting it somewhere here. That should be enough. Hit enter. Now we'll be going to filter, neural filters. This is the set of the new AI filters in Photoshop. Let's find out the option of super zoom here. Toggle it on. Now here you can see we can set the level of zoom we want on the image. We can enhance image details or remove JPEG artifacts, noise reduction level, sharpening level. We can even enhance the face details. Now I am gonna upscale it to 4x for this test. You can even go higher. Now that's processing the data and it will soon be completed. Now remember to set the output to new layer. Hit OK. And you can see the image is already upscaled here. Let's save the images. We can see here, save here, like. And it's done. Let's go to the folder, double click on that, and you can go to the properties. Here's the details. It is 4000 by 4000 pixels here now. That's it for Photoshop. Okay, as I have already explained all the tools to you, let's do a quick comparison among the images. I know I said that I won't be doing a comparison test in this one, but let's just put the images back to back so we can see that if there is a noticeable difference between them or not. Let's start with the initial image at first. Here, this is the initial image. You can see, for those of you that are watching this video on mobile phone, I don't know the video would be clear to see or not, but for those using PC, if you go full screen, I think you can see the differences at least clearly. Well, whatever the differences are there. This is the starting image, original image. Now let's go to the Lightroom version. Here is the Lightroom one. As you can see, there is technically no difference at all between the original image and the image created by Lightroom. I'll put a link in the description where you can download all the images and you can compare them with each other to see which one works best for you. Now let's go to the chainer one. Now the chainer version has little bit sharpness added to it, maybe because I used the ultra sharp model for upscaling. If I use different other models, the result might vary significantly. But overall, this is also pretty close to original. The differences are pretty subtle. You can see the differences if you put the images back to back and change them between themselves. Otherwise, you won't notice anything at all. Now the Topaz Lab one. Here is the Topaz 4x version. Here is the 6x version. Wait, Nothing changed, right? If you go to the top left corner here, you can see the name change. 4x, 6x, 4x, 6x. But on screen they look technically exactly same. If you put the gigapixel version side by side to the original one, you can notice a slight bit, very little bit softness in the skin textures, but nothing too noticeable or nothing deal breaker at all. And in fact, this can easily be corrected in Photoshop. Well, you have to have Photoshop for that. Just sharpening it won't do. But using the original image with high pass filter to sharpen the image, that would do the trick. I'll try to make a video about that also, and once if I do that, I'll definitely put the link in the description. Now let's move on to the next one, the big JPG version. Well, this is where the differences become apparent. As you can see, if we put the big JPG version side by side to the original image, the softness is very much visible. The skin has smoothened out, and this is not something you can't easily correct in Photoshop. Well, if you are looking for this look in particular, if you want your images to be upscaled and also softened like that and want to use it in some purpose where this might be necessary, then this is the way to go for you. But if you want to keep the image as original as possible, then I think you should try to avoid this one. If you don't have access to a computer that you might be using for these purposes, and all you can do is go via the online route, so this is one option that you can keep in mind. I used to use this one earlier when I did not know about Chainer, but after that I have pretty much give up using this one. Now the last one is the Photoshop neural filter version. This has also softened the skin a lot. Just like the big JPG website, here the softening is also very much visible, and when I put it side by side to the original image, you can clearly see the differences in there. This is also something that you might be using when you really need that much upscaling capabilities and you are okay with this kind of smoothening or softening. Now, what do I use? I personally use Lightroom for most of my upscales. There are actually two reasons behind that. Well, as I already have Adobe subscription, there is no reason to not use it. I could buy Topaz Gigapixel, but as the upscaling capabilities of Lightroom at present caters to most of my needs, I don't see there any need to buy that at all. And I also might be a little bit biased towards Lightroom because I have been using it for so many years now. I upscale most of my images in Lightroom. It also has a very intuitive workflow, and for instances where the upscaling of Lightroom might not be enough for me, I have been experimenting a lot lately with Chainer, trying out different models. It's more like a specialized menu served especially for one type of images. If you can make it work, it can give amazing results, especially as most of its models are open sourced, so there is an amazing rate of growth there. I know Chainer seems very complicated for someone who's just starting out because it has a node based workflow that we don't often see in most of softwares, unless you have already been working in a node based software like DaVinci Resolve or something else. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. In fact, I have already made a video explaining how you can get started with the Chainer in the simplest way possible. Let me know in the comments which one of these 5 you are already using or are planning to use and why.